Welcome to my channel again, my lovely viewers. The weekend is here again. Join me as we delve into the weekend fixtures, games, analysis, and stats. Sit, relax, and enjoy. Newcastle will be looking to bounce back after that loss against Sunderland, one of their worst or their fierce rivals when it comes to the Premier League. Right? In that game, we also what we expected in derbies, especially in England. And that own goal from Manutd was the difference between these two sides. A very interesting football game. But then, Newcastle bounced back during the week where they beat Fulham in the EFL Cup by 2-1. Chelsea, on the other hand, beat Everton in the Premier League. Yes, a very important win for Maresca and his boys. After that, in the EFL Cup as well, they beat Cardiff by 3-1. Goals from Alejandro Garnacho and Pedro Neto, who both came from the bench and gave Chelsea the maximum 3 points. But then, during the week, we didn't see Chelsea's star man, Cole Palmer, in that game versus Cardiff. Yes, Maresca confirmed that currently they can't risk their star man. Yes, so they decided to leave him out against that game versus Cardiff. Yes, Cole Palmer scored for Chelsea against Everton in that game. And I think currently he's one of their most important players. And it made a lot of sense that they benched him versus Cardiff. And I think in that game, I don't think they really needed him that much. Because even without him, Chelsea had the capability, they have the capacity, they have the players, the quality to beat this Cardiff side. Newcastle playing at home at the St. James Park. It's a very tricky game for everyone. Yeah. Any top side that goes to St. James Park never gets it easy. Right? You can get your maximum 3 points. Right? But then, even if you win, you are going to struggle. You are going to go through a lot to get that maximum 3 points. And currently, with how Newcastle are playing, and also playing at home, it really makes this fixture a very tricky one. Chelsea on their side currently aren't so consistent as well. Right? You can't you can't know the type of Chelsea you are going to see on any match day. Right? The players can decide to turn up. On other days too, they fall apart. Right? So I think that kind of inconsistency is what's currently worrying Chelsea. Right? Because at times they can be on top form, win continuous games, but then it gets to a point that they fold. Right? So I think if Chelsea are able to correct these inconsistencies, they are really going to go far in the title race this season. And in this fixture, there are certain players we really need to watch out for. On the side of Newcastle, Bruno Guimaraes, bro, that guy has really come up big for Newcastle this season, scoring important goals in big games, right? And this game at home in front of their fans, right? We all know the quality that Bruno Guimaraes possesses, and we all know what he can do. So Chelsea and Maresca really have to pay attention to this wonderful player. On the side of Chelsea, Cole Palmer, as we all know, bro, you can't take away the quality of this brother. Chelsea having him back is a very big blessing. But then, Pedro Neto on the side of Chelsea this season has been very wonderful. Coming up big for Chelsea, assisting, scoring goals, creating chances. Yes, so I think Newcastle and Eddie Howe have to pay attention to Pedro Neto with the kind of quality he has. With injuries so far this season, in this fixture, both Newcastle and Chelsea are having players out for this current fixture. On the side of Newcastle, they have the likes of Botman, Dan Ben, who recently got injured, currently having a chest injury, and we all hope he returns very fit and better than before. Players like Trippier, the captain of Newcastle, also out. Osule and then Kraft are all out. On the side of Chelsea, players like Esteval is a doubt for this current fixture. Cole, Delap, and Lavia are all out for this fixture as well. And then with the win probability that I'm having here with me, Newcastle playing at home have a 42% win probability to Chelsea's 31% win probability. Yes, as I said earlier, Newcastle playing at home at the St. James Park is no easy deal for anybody. You go there, you are going to really feel the wrath of the fans and how hostile that ground is. In the last 5 games, Newcastle have won 2, drawn 2, and lost 1. On the side of Chelsea, they currently have, in the last 5 games, have won 2 games, lost 2, and drawn 1. And with the head-to-heads between these two sides, in the last 5 games they met in all competitions, Chelsea have won twice, Newcastle also winning twice, and 1 ending in a draw. Tottenham are currently struggling to keep touch with European football right now. Mo Salah of Liverpool will be leaving for the AFCON. And I think Liverpool are really going to miss the service of this great servant. Yes, so Liverpool are currently showing good signs of progress. In the last 5 games that this team has played, they've won 3 and drawn 2. On the side of Tottenham, a very disappointing result in the Premier League against Nottingham Forest, right, where they lost by 3-0. Bro, I didn't expect this, right? Thomas Frank and Tottenham really started this season very, very well, right? I remember that game they played against PSG. People were so impressed with how they played in that game. Even with them losing, people felt like, no, Thomas Frank is really cooking something. But then right now, it seems Tottenham Hotspur have really fallen apart. And with Liverpool, as I said, they are showing signs of progress. In the last 2 games that they've won, these 2 games didn't come against an easy opposition. The latest one was against Brighton, who we know can give problems to any top side that they meet. They beat Brighton at home comfortably by 2-0. In the Champions League, they beat European giants Inter Milan as well by 1-0 away at the San Siro. Yes, so this really shows you that Arne Slot and Liverpool are really getting the pieces together. And we pray, or we hope to see Liverpool back to their very best. On the side of Tottenham, they've won only 1 game in the Premier League in their last 7 games since November. On the side of Liverpool, they have a tremendous record against this Tottenham side. In the last 7 seasons, Liverpool have beaten Tottenham 11 times, drawn 2, and lost just 1. This shows you how dominant Liverpool have been against Tottenham. And currently, with how bad Tottenham are playing, Liverpool also not in the best of form, but then they are showing good signs. Is this record going to continue, or Tottenham are going to break Liverpool hearts? With the win probability that I'm having over here, Tottenham Hotspur playing at home have a 32% win probability to Liverpool's 42% win probability. In the last 5 games that Tottenham have played, they've won 2, lost 1, and played 1 draw. Liverpool, on the other hand, have played 5 games, won 3, and lost 2. With the head-to-heads, the last 5 games that these two sides have met, Liverpool have come up top 4 times, with 1 going to the side of Tottenham. Everton will be playing at home to Arsenal. Right, bro? In the Premier League, yeah, your form doesn't guarantee you 3 points regardless whoever you are playing. Arsenal struggled to beat Wolverhampton Wanderers. Bro, this team that everyone undermined. I quite remember in the preview here, I said that I was expecting Arsenal to get a job done by halftime. But bro, guess what? Arsenal needed 2 own goals, yeah, to beat this poor Wolverhampton side, which were, I would say, very decent on that day against Arsenal. People would complain that they packed the bus. Bro, I don't think that should be an excuse. With how poor Wolves have been, it's the same way they play against any top side, right? So the excuse of them packing the bus is a no-no for me. And I think on that day, they were so unlucky. They deserved that 1 point. They scored at the death, and then another own goal broke their hearts. So I think with that performance that Wolves had against Arsenal, I think if they can build on that, I think it's going to really help them going forward this season. Arsenal are looking to spend Christmas on top of the Premier League table, right? Arsenal have spent, if they are able to do this, right, it means they've been on top of the Premier League table during Christmas for the 3rd time in the last 4 seasons. right? Yeah, so Arsenal have really been doing well up to this point, up to Christmas. But then after Christmas, they fall off. Everton, on the other hand, also fell short against Chelsea, which that game I think they were so unlucky. They had chances to score against Chelsea, right? They had chances to head the Chelsea side, but then they failed to take their opportunities and then ended up getting a loss against Chelsea at the Stamford Bridge. Everton, despite that loss against Chelsea, have been quite decent in recent weeks. Yes, so going to the Dickinson Stadium is really going to be a big game for Arsenal and Arteta, right? As they are looking to be on top or spend Christmas on top of the league table. I think this game is really going to be a tough game, and it's going to be a very nice one to behold. Now, with this game, there are certain players that we really have to put an eye on. Leandro Trossard, one of the most underrated players in the Premier League. To me, I don't know for you though, he's one of the most underrated players in the Premier League. Has been involved in the last 9 away games for Arsenal this season, scoring 6 and assisting 3. That shows you how influential Trossard has been to this Arsenal side. Now, on the side of Everton, they are going to be without key players in the likes of Njai and Idrissa Gana Gueye, who are both off for the AFCON. Kenan Dewsbury is also a doubt for this game for Everton. On the side of Arsenal, Ben White, who we saw limp off against Wolverhampton, is also a doubt for this game. With the win probability that I'm having over here, Everton playing at home have a 19% win probability to Arsenal's 60% win probability. On the side of Everton, in the last 5 games, they've won 3 and lost 2. On the side of Arsenal as well, they've won 3, drawn 1, and lost 1. With the head-to-heads in the last 5 games, Arsenal have won 3 with 2 ending in a draw. In form, Aston Villa will be coming up against Manchester United, who in the history of the Premier League have beaten Aston Villa more than anyone else. But then, current form says otherwise, because Aston Villa are currently on a 9-game unbeaten run. Yes, and they are looking to beat Manchester United and make it 10. Is this going to materialize? Because currently, Manchester United are not in the best of form. Plus, they are losing their best players in the likes of Mbeumo, Ahmad, and Mazraoui. They are losing them all to the AFCON. Right? With how good Aston Villa are playing right now, and with how much shaky Manchester United have been, especially in defense. Aston Villa playing at home. This game is really going to be a tricky one. On the side of United, they are looking to come back to winning ways after that disappointing 4-4 draw against Bournemouth. I think that game was really a matter of focus, right? That game was never or is never on Amorim, because these players tend to always lose focus anytime they come back from halftime. This same thing happened against Nottingham Forest, and then Tottenham, and then in this game against Bournemouth, playing at home. Bro, your coach can't teach you focus. Your coach shouldn't be the one telling you to focus. You know how important this game is. You know how important 3 points are. You don't need a coach to come and stand there and tell you to be focused, bro. Sometimes these players need to wake up, especially in the line of defense. Especially that current day, the players in defense were so poor. They let the attackers down, because you can't be scoring goals and then keep conceding at the back. Right? So I think Manchester United really need to have back the likes of De Ligt and then Maguire, because the back line is really lacking experience. It's lacking someone to control that back line. So I think Manchester United going away to Aston Villa, who are currently in top form, scoring goals. Right? I think this game really is going to be an important one for Villa, both Villa and Manchester United. But then, if Manchester United want to get anything out of this game, they really have to check their defensive line. But then, on the side of Manchester United, is there going to be a formation change, as rumors have had it? Right? Because even the game against Bournemouth, we saw a tweak within the game, right? From the a normal 3-4-3 to a 4-4-2 formation at some point, right? Especially with Ahmad, Mbomo all going out. Is there going to be a formation change? Or Manchester United is going to maintain the same 3-4-3? In the absence of Mbomo, right? I think with the double number 10s, if United want to play with the same 3-4-3, Cunha and Mount can play in that number 10 position with Sesko up top, right? But then the problem is, who is going to occupy that Ahmad position? We know we have players who can occupy that position, but then how good can these players play in that position? That's a big question, right? So let's just see if Ruben Amorim is going to stick to his 3-4-3, or is going to tweak, or is going to change his formation with his top players going away to AFCON. With the win probability that I'm having over here, Aston Villa playing at home have a 57% win probability to Manchester United's 20% win probability. In the last 5 games that Aston Villa have played, they've won all 5. As I said earlier, they are currently on a 9-game winning streak. On the side of Manchester United, in the last 5 games, they've won 2, drawn 2, and lost 1. In the last 5 games that these two teams have met, that's the head-to-heads, Manchester United have won impressively 4 times and drawing 1. That tells you in the last 5 games, Aston Villa have gotten just 1 point against Manchester United. Are Chelsea going to maintain their winning streak? Liverpool going away to Tottenham. Are they going to win without their star man Mo Salah? This and many more will be discussed here after 90 minutes. See you next time.